Hello everyone. Welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, a spiritual intuitive and oracle. But before I really go into what is going on here today, I want to take a moment and just make sure I'm actually able to go live because I had to restart my iPad. And I see people saying that they weren't getting notified the first time I tried. And I know there's been quite a people having problems. So I want to make sure that this is good before I really even bother getting into it. So just want to see. I see that there are people tuning in, but I cannot see any comments yet. So if you are here with me, please feel free to drop me a comment. Just confirm that you're able to hear and see me okay before I even go further. Meredith, Rose Maria, yay, you can see me and hear me. Yay, hey Nikki, Angela, welcome. Oh, yay, okay, Jillian. Awesome. I'm so excited now because I thought this wasn't going to work. I've been hearing horror stories about people who've been trying to use the live on their pages and they just absolutely can't do it. I did go live prior to this and it was not like there was no one watching, no comments. I knew something was wrong. Sure enough, no one even saw that like it wasn't even being broadcasted on my page that I was live. So I had to restart and then Facebook actually threw an update. So if anybody else encounters this, I did restart my iPad and then I went into the apps and I searched Facebook and it did show that there was an update required. So I clicked on update and then it updated my Facebook app and we're all good to go. So yay. I'm so happy you all could make it. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Jillian, for being my little helper elf today. I appreciate and love you. I'm going to just unplug my mic again. Of caution. What kind of a live is this going to be today? I don't even know. So I'm just going to apologize in advance because I don't know what is going to happen, how this is going to go. The energy is incredibly intense. And as an energy sensitive, I do have a really difficult time grounding my energy when the energy is so high. I will get into that in a second. But let me just try to go through some form of normalcy here. And I'm just going to say that welcome to everyone to Magical Me. This is my live Moonday Oracle Message for the week of May 10th, 2021. So every Monday, I try to come here live and do a reading for all of us for the week ahead or the week that we're in to really just have insight and awareness into what we can expect energetically. So I pull a message from my oracle cards and utilize my own intuitive abilities to interpret that message for us for the highest good. Now, this is not individualized readings. It's a generalized overview for the week for all of us and really what we can expect and give us that heads up because it's best to have an understanding that we can flow harmoniously with the energy versus trying to swim against it, creating blockage and discord for ourselves. So that's why I really do these readings, give us all that insight and heads up, if you will. But before I go into the oracle reading, I like to first always just bring forward some news and announcements, anything that I need to just bring forward regarding classes, workshops, or offers here at Magical Me, anything also that I might have going on at my sister business, Oracles of the Light. I like to kind of, share everything together here and there, okay? So I'll be talking about that first. Then I like to go into what is called my energy empathy forecast. So it's just my way of discussing anything that as an energy sensitive and intuitive, I may have been feeling or experiencing over the last few days. And it may in some way help you. It might help you to understand what's going on around you or what you yourself might have been feeling. I also like to talk about anything that's going on in the cosmos, just to really give us that insight. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I just talk, I should say more. I like to say that I have an intuitive and oracle approach to astrology. And so anything that might be relevant, whether it be a full moon, new moon, an eclipse, some sort of a gateway going on, whether it might be, a big astrological event that's going on, whatever plops into my lap to talk about, I bring it up to talk about it. So I will be doing that, then pulling the Moonday message. after that, the fun just keeps going, and I pull a mudra for us all to work with together. I'm going to talk more about what mudras are for anybody who has never heard of them before or worked with them once we get there. So for now, let me just catch up on all the beautiful comments for all these beautiful souls that we've got. Carmela, Dawn, welcome. I did have a wonderful Mother's Day. How about you? I hope you all had a wonderful day honoring yourselves as mother goddesses, whether you are an actual mother, whether you are mother to fur babies, whether you are mother to stepchildren, you name it. I hope that you all have had an incredible day yesterday. Oh, Meredith. Oh, wonderful. Look at that. Divine timing always, isn't it? Hey, Angela. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad that you all could be here. Lynette, welcome, gorgeous one. Thanks for being here. So I guess, let me just get right on into it then. I was going to share this. Maybe I'll just do it really briefly. Just if anybody was struggling, not being able to see me the first time. Bear with me one moment. Okay. Scrolling, but it's not moving. There we go. Just going to share it once to my regular page. Okay. Perfect. Oh, Carmela, that's amazing. Oh, good for you. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's interesting, with what's been going on during COVID with nursing homes, and, my own grandmother was in one, and my own mother had a very difficult experience with that. So good for you. I'm so happy you got to spend time and see her. Hello, Marianne. Welcome. Thanks for joining. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get right on into it, all right? So we're just going to go into news and announcements. There's not a lot to really announce. The Oracles of the Light, so my sister business with Lindsay and Karen, we currently do have an offer for the month of May. It is a reading special going on. So while our regular Oracle guidance readings don't really tend to have any rhyme or reason, no theme, you just ask what it is that you want to know. They're usually $45, but currently for $40, we have a reading special going on, and it is a reading surrounding, it's perfect for Mother's Day, because it really does come forward with, we're calling it our maternal legacy reading. And so it's really about the energy that through your maternal or matriarchal line, ancestrally, or just through, your reincarnations, what legacy you are carrying. And this is going to bring up some insight into maybe any karmic and ancestral patterning that are acting as blocks that you've kind of, carried into this life with you, coming up to the surface to help you understand them, and then to be able to release them and heal them across space and time, both frontwards and backwards. But then also it does bring in what ancestral maternal gifts you might actually be carrying with you in this life that you're meant to actually embrace, embody, and work with in this life. So for $40, that special is still going on through the end of May. It is a pre-recorded video reading. So what that means is the moment that you sign up and send over and we receive the payment, just send us a message letting us know that you did. Then Lindsay, myself, or Karen will actually just do the reading for you. All we need is your permission, and then we record that reading through a video just like this, and then send it over to you privately for you to watch as often as you need. We like to do these sort of readings video recorded and then just send them over for you to watch, just because there's so much information sometimes that comes through. It can be very overwhelming in just one sitting, if we were doing like a live video chat or something. And so really it helps people to have multiple opportunities to really connect with the information, to really fully ask, maybe you want to, ask some questions, say maybe you need a little bit more clarity on something. It allows you to be able to do that and have it and watch it as many times as you need. So if you're interested in that, all you have to do is send a message to either myself or to Oracles of the Light. There is an offer listed on Oracles of the Light's page that you should be able to find, and it'll also take you to the payment link as well. Okay. Oh, Rosemaria. Yeah, absolutely. Check it out then, sweetie. Absolutely. Hi, Laura. Welcome, beautiful. And Eleanor, welcome. Thanks for being here. There's not really anything else to announce. Today is the last day to register for my in-person Yusoi Reiki Level 1 class. Again, this is an in-person class. However, I do offer Reiki Level 1 and Level 2 online all the time. So it is like a kind of, work at your own pace type of course, and then we connect for you on if you choose the online course. You work at your own pace, watch all the videos in a private group on Facebook, and when you're ready, we set up your individual live video energy attunement, which is the actual process that does attune you to the Reiki energy to become a vessel for Reiki energy healing to flow through. So if you're interested for the online option, no matter where you are in this beautiful world wide web, you can take that course with me. But again, if you're interested in person, the last day to register for this one is today. But the event has been created. It's on my page, and it is going to be this coming Saturday on the 15th. I will not be teaching Reiki again, at least Reiki 1 or 2, until the fall. Okay? So just giving you that heads up. I think that's pretty much it. There's really no other news and announcements at this time. I'm going to go into the empathy energy forecast because there's a lot to talk about. So I don't want to kind of keep us too long today. First and foremost, the energy has been off the charts, literally. So those of you who are familiar with what the Schumann resonance is, the normal Schumann resonance. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, it is the Earth's electromagnetic field, essentially. And when any like solar activity occurs, it does have an impact on the Earth's electromagnetic field, which changes the frequency and it spikes, right? When that happens, it impacts us directly energetically, and we can be feeling this emotionally, mentally. We can even feel this on a physical level. So whenever it jumps and spikes like this, it does tend to create a bit of erratic energy within us, feeling ungrounded and unstable. Hello, beautiful Bridget. Welcome and thanks for being here. So normally the Earth's electromagnetic frequency that it gives off is supposed to be something like 7.4 or 7.8, right? Just kind of give you an understanding here. Over the last couple of days, I would say, I haven't checked it today, but I want to say yesterday or the day before, it was at something like 110. That is quite a profound shift in energy. So today is the dark moon as well. So I'll talk about that in a second. But the energy today has been really dizzying, is the best probable word that I can use here, is dizzying. And I myself have had a really hard time keeping myself grounded. So I do apologize in advance if I'm a little bit seeming like I'm kind of like all over the place today. I have a boulder on my legs. I'm really trying to keep myself anchored today. But I wanted to be here because I wasn't here last week. So I figured I'm going to push through and doing it anyway. So just so that you're aware, when these ascension symptoms, when these high frequency, rays of light hit the planet, when we have solar flares or we have these geomagnetic storms, it tends to really pull things up and out of us. It tends to make us feel very, again, erratic, very flighty. People will be acting very agitated and irritable. I'll say yesterday there was a pattern of, I think, 3 of us that actually started feeling a lot of solar plexus stuff going on, between nausea, actual pain. So, it does affect our body in different ways, and everybody is unique, so it might impact you differently, but it can make people very emotional. So when things like this happen, it is so important. When you feel like you're all over the place, this is when, I don't want to manifest anything here, but it's important to be very mindful as best as you can and to really try to ground and anchor your energy. Drink lots of water, because this is the energy where accidents can tend to happen, because no one is in their body. You know, literally everybody's floating outside of their body. So it's so important to kind of pull your spirit back down into your body. So wearing crystals like hematite, you know, red jasper, any form of agate, obsidian, like they're all just going to pull you and anchor you down. So if you can work with those, that's great. Sitting out in nature, obviously, anchoring your energy. Envision roots growing out of the base of your spine at your root chakra down into Mother Earth and really pushing them through the soil. Sitting with your hands planted, your bare feet, you know, whatever you can to make contact with Earth, really grounding. We call that earthing, okay? Hello, Elise. Welcome, beautiful. Super dizzy. Heat overload and scrambled little brain, riding the waves and being gentle with myself. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Yesterday, you brought up the heat. Yesterday, I felt the heat in my head, and it was really intense, and I did actually start to get an energy headache from it. So, again, lots of water. Be mindful of yourself. Do not push yourself too hard. Just keep grounded if you can, okay? We have a lot going on this week, too. Today is dark moon. This is the part of the phase of the moon cycle, of the 1 month cycle, where the moon literally goes through its metaphoric death. This is the ending of one moon cycle. With that said, we are very much meant to be in sync with the moon's patterns and phases. So that would mean that we too are now coming to a place of ending. So when we come to a place of ending, it's important for us to go within. So you can feel this energy is actually facilitating what we should be doing. I don't like the word should, but how we could best be in flow with the energy, which is to, you know, literally dark moon is what it seems. It is that time, a period. It's literally like a day or two before the new moon, which is tomorrow, as well as the 12th, depending on where you're at in this beautiful world, which is when the moon is born again. I'll talk about that in a second. So before the moon is born again, it's in that period of transition, in the standstill, in the pause between lives. So this is when we come into ourselves. We reflect internally on what we have experienced over the last month, what we've learned, what we've gained, maybe what we left behind, what we want to take with us into the next month cycle, and what we don't want to take with us, how we can maybe do things differently. Great time for reflection. Now, what I have been feeling myself personally that has been coming up, and it even came up today, which is, and it comes and goes in waves for me. This is, I know it's maybe some of it's my own, maybe some inner wounding that I might be carrying, but also some of it is obviously part to the collective and what the collective is tapping into or experiencing. And it was self-consciousness, but not in the way that was about self-image, which is where you normally think self-consciousness is. It's more about in the way that I was feeling overly concerned, which is not usual for me because I'm a Scorpio sun, Sagittarius rising. I normally could give two craps about the way someone perceives me. Although I do try to always be as gentle, as loving and kind as possible, I'm very ruled by my fire. And so I speak my truth always. But I all of a sudden was feeling very much about like conscientious of the way I was perceived by people. And feeling as though, I guess that could tie in a little bit with like self-love or self-worth, knowing that you are worthy and outside perceptions really don't matter. But it definitely had this, again, I was feeling this whole, for the last couple of days, like worrying about the way that I was being perceived, or maybe the way that someone was perceiving me, or how I was coming across, and maybe, feeling like I was like inadequate, or, you know what I mean? So like my confidence really feeling on, like up for judgment, if that made sense. So that in itself is pretty interesting. I'm not 100% where that's coming from and why, other than the fact that we really are asked to really reflect upon ourselves and our abilities. And with the energy of this Taurus season, I've talked about this in the past, the last maybe 2 moon days ago, where we really are being pushed more into and I think this more so might have to do with the Pluto retrograde going on. This could be where it's coming from. Feeling more so like we're being pushed into our soul's truth, into our soul's calling. So everyone externally is but a mirror reflection of our internal. And so when we see people come into our lives and we're worried, or they behave in a certain way, it is really a mirror projection of what we most need to look at within ourselves. And this is really great for dark moon energy. And asking yourself like where you could be living more authentically you. How could you come more into the truth of who you are, if that makes sense? So that could be where it's coming from, but I feel like this is the why it's happening, okay? Regardless of where it's coming from. So that theme is going to continue on because we are moving into a very significant alignment on the 13th that I'm going to talk all about too. I'm going to go into new moon first because I'm going to stay in the order of events or I will lose myself. On the 13th with Jupiter moving into Pisces. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Oh, Nikki, lately I've been feeling like I'm doing a lot wrong and reflecting. Oh, that's a great thing. You know, I'm glad that you really said that, sweetheart. Thank you for sharing that, because we never really are doing anything wrong. Okay. Now, don't use that as an excuse to, you know, run amok and act chaotically. Please don't. But what that really means is that when it comes to decision making, when it comes to what we are doing, Earth is a learning planet, guys. You might have heard that time and time again, but I want you to really fully understand what that means. If you are incarnated as a human at this time on Earth, you're here to learn. And that means that nothing that you do is wrong. Everything that you do is an opportunity to learn and grow from. Now, obviously, continuously repeating patterns that you know are wrong is a bit different. So I'm not giving you a license to do that. But learning from the things that we do, you know, ultimately we have, you know, choices that we have free will. So we make different choices, and none of those choices are wrong. They're just more of an opportunity to learn from. If we make the wrong choice, trust and know that you will always be represented with the opportunity to choose again. It's just the way of the world. It's just the way that it works. Okay. So, hi, Annie. Hello, Karen. Welcome, Laura. Monielle, welcome, gorgeous. Maria, welcome, love. Hi, Gina. Welcome, welcome. Anybody I missed? Sometimes I can't see everybody. So just so that you know that, okay? There's no right or wrongs here. No, but I love though that you are reflecting, and maybe this is where these feelings that I've been having are coming up. It's teaching me specifically to not question myself. Granted, I don't know everything. None of us do. Anybody who claims to know everything, well, you probably have more to learn than the rest of us. But I don't know everything. But that doesn't mean that I don't also have the ability to know things. You know, so that doesn't mean that this is probably teaching me more so to stand in my power, to stop doubting myself, to stop relying externally on others for my clarity or my confirmations, if you will, to trust in what I receive. And that when someone externally validates it, just look at it as a way of me standing more in my power of saying, you see, I knew what I was talking about, or see, I knew that that's what it was trying to tell me. So trust that you have everything within you that you need to succeed. It is wonderful to have outside help, guides, and assistance and confirmations. But at the end of the day, it is also important for us to reflect more on who we are and what comes forward to us individually. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Other than that, I mean, I felt really good these last couple of days. I haven't really, I mean, I've felt the waves. There are the waves of the energy that's going on and the emotional stuff that's coming up. I think there was a few moments where I felt like I could just like burst into tears. And that was really weird. But again, I recognize that we really are, we're releasing a lot. We're grieving the old, you know, we're letting go of a lot of things. There's so much change happening. So, you know, could be very much tapping into that. But as we move on, we're moving into the new moon again tomorrow, also the 12th, depending on where you are in the world. And this new moon is in the sign of Taurus. I love this because in those of you who follow Moonday, you know, I talk about this all the time. When the sun and the moon are in the same sign, it's like alchemical marriage to me. It's like a divine union. That's how I feel. That's what I see. And, you know, there might be somebody else that just, you know, has more of a astrological explanation for it, but this is my explanation. So Taurus, the sun is currently in the sign of Taurus. The moon also moves into the sign of Taurus for this new moon. So that's incredibly powerful because the sun is our, you know, our masculine energy, and that putting forward, what we put intention into, and how we put it out into the world in action, if you will. And then the moon is our feminine, which is our in motion, our intuition, our inspiration, our ability to be creative. And so it's like the two of them aligning are what is necessary and essential in order to birth an altogether new creation, an altogether new reality. Think of it as the masculine, the feminine, or male and female even come together to create new life. Like that. So this is what this is. That's how I see when the sun and moon come together in a sign. It is beautiful. So the new moon also being a time of new beginnings, a new cycle starting. This is a great time to, no matter what sign it's in, to plant seeds of intention. So what is it that you want to plant in your garden of life? And then how can you nurture? Because now we can plant seeds and set intentions to manifest with the universe, but some of that also takes action on our parts as well. So there you have both the planting of the seeds and then the taking the action as well, which is that masculine and feminine. So, you know, how can you water your garden? And, you know, are you giving it enough love? Are you giving it enough time and intention? So lots of great things to reflect on. This is a great time to plant the seeds for those new goals. What do you want to work on this month? What do you want to see coming in the next months? Great time. They're saying that this is the actual start and kickoff to the eclipse season that is coming. When eclipse season happens, it's usually like 3 eclipses back to back, whether they are partial or full. These are great times of profound change. So now is that time for us to really be focusing in on what we can do to really make more of our dreams a reality. How can we have a role in that, not just waiting for it to happen, okay? Now, also because it's in the sign of Taurus, you know, this is all about that physical connection, that physical body. So, for example, I mean, I've been talking about this all Taurus season so far, and those of you who got Taurus season readings with me know that I've talked about this is all about coming more into the connection of our physical presence, our physical self, but not solely in the way that we're, you know, also it is about coming into our physical body, anchoring and grounding ourselves more in the earth and in our body. So what does that mean? To me, that means being fully present, being fully aware of your imprint that you leave in the world, and you know, the imprint that you leave in your life or in your family or in your environment, and you know, being more conscious of that, coming more into present awareness, which is oh so important, because we focus a lot as a collective on the past and what went wrong or what didn't go right or where we want to go back to, or we focus way too much on the future and too much about where we're not and what we didn't achieve yet, and when we're just waiting to be happy, or we're waiting for this to happen instead of being right here, right now. And that's what Taurus brings forward for us, especially in that new moon energy, new opportunity to really come more into awareness and into self, coming more into earth Also how you can make more. So everything that's in the physical world is first in the spiritual world. And that also can be equated to what's in our mind. And in our mind, we can take those seeds and earth them more into the physical reality to make them more concrete. So this is a great time for that as well. Also, again, our physical body. So you might be making some changes in your physical body right now, whether it be like, for me, I have actually been exercising more, which is something I don't normally do. So I've been actually exercising more. I'm being more conscious of what's going into my body food-wise, and really feeling more drawn to fresh fruits and vegetables and less inclined to meat. Now, that's not for everybody, and I'm not the person that's up here to say you should do this and you should do that. I'm just saying that my body is talking and I'm listening to it, so I'm taking care of my vessel. And so that's coming up more. This is a great time where people are feeling more, sensual, feeling more comfortable in their image and comfortable in their body, and, and loving that. This is also more about feeling into everything, really allowing your senses to come alive, not just going through the motions and tunnel vision. This is about really fully taking stock of your presence, how your presence impacts others, how others impact you, where maybe some changes need to be made. Also, coming more alive with the interconnectedness of everything around you. So very potent, powerful time. Moving into the 13th, Magic 13 is the planet Jupiter moving into the sign of Pisces. Now that is going to be until the end of July, I believe. So we've got quite a bit of time in this energy. So I just want to talk briefly about Jupiter being the planet of expansion, being the planet of growth, luck, and abundance, and how that's going to connect or co-create with the sign of Pisces. Now, Pisces is the last of the zodiac signs. Pisces also used to be ruled by Jupiter before the discovery of the planet Neptune, which is now the ruler of Pisces. But Pisces being the ruler of spirituality, of oneness and interconnectedness. I'm sorry, my cat is in here and she just keeps walking right back and forth, grabbing my microphone thing. Being the ruler of like the oneness and interconnectedness, deeply intuitive and connected to the sign of water, but deeply, connected into the emotions and the sensory, and very much about, again, kind of like the ending of a cycle again. So as Pisces being the end of the wheel, it is right before we are about to be reborn in the zodiac wheel with the sign of the beginning of Aries, right? So Pisces being that ending, it's that point of transcendence to me. And when you have a big planet like Jupiter moving into the ending of one of the most spiritual signs that there is, this to me is the point of transcendence, almost like leaving the physical behind and merging with the ethers and becoming more in the etheric. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to go out and become spiritual or, or whatever that means to you. But it does mean that I feel like this is about us coming to more of our spiritual core. And that to me translates to who you are at your soul's truth, at your heart's call, like at your heart's true north, if you will. So more and more, this energy on the 13th is going to facilitate us to be searching more for our soul's truth. Now, because at the end of the day, every single one of us is spiritual because of the fact that we all come from the divine. We all come from spirit. And the physical world is the illusion of who we are, and the place where we become to learn to transcend back to source. So this is us kind of beginning to have that recognition, dissolving the barriers or the veil between the two and allowing us to kind of transcend up higher, to come more into that oneness. This is about coming more into service, especially those of you who are, spiritual teachers, healers. And I'm not talking about just in spirituality, whether you're a nurse, going into nursing, a teacher in some other way. wherever you are about going into service for the whole versus the me, this is also going to facilitate that and coming more into that. So a very powerful shift that's happening. Jupiter and Pisces they seem to be like the best energy together, which is very interesting. So any of you who are, now this is going to affect all of us, but any of you who are Pisces sun, Pisces rising, I'm even going to go on a limb here and say Sagittarius suns, Sagittarius risings, because Jupiter is the planet of Sagittarius. This is going to really pick all of you up and really kind of put this right in your face. So lots of transformation and big changes happening. It's almost like the light is going to be shined down on you, directly illuminating your path. And also because of the fact that Jupiter rules over abundance, this is going to be a very abundant and momentous time in your life for all of you, and really giving you that go ahead. It's almost like giving you the keys for you to live your dreams. That's what I'm really feeling. So I can see a lot of this happening for all of us, no matter where you are in your charts with these planets and these signs. But I do really think that this is going to be, specifically for those energies, really highlighting your dreams. So it is a great energy to get things done, helping you to focus on where you can bring more direction into creating your dreams, making them more of a reality, and how you can actually expand under this energy as well and grow under this energy. So great week already, and we haven't even had the Oracle message yet. So it's going to be a good week for us, guys. I think that might be it. I did try to make myself some notes. Yeah, so really, essentially, this is helping us to come into the highest expression of ourself with this Jupiter in Pisces energy. Okay. All right, so that is the end of the energy empathy forecast. I hope that assists you. I'm going to get moving on now into the Oracle message. Just seeing some of you pop in now. Hi, Kevin. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Thomas, welcome. Thanks for being here. Anybody that I missed? Nikki says, I love hearing your feedback. It all resonates so well. Thank you so much, Goddess. Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. So happy that I could help. All right. Monielle says, I resonate with that feeling too. I just told my friend I'm feeling like a failure. Oh, sweetie. Oh, that's an awful place to be, you know, and I know it because, you know, I'm human. I go through it just like everybody else. But what I will tell you is, while it's an awful place to be, it actually has the potential to be a great place to be. Why? Because it's like you've fallen down, you've hit rock bottom. The only thing to do when you've fallen down, you hit rock bottom, you're lying on your back, is look up. And the sky is the potential, you know. So now it's like, now you've fallen down. Now you have the opportunity to look at, there's nowhere else to go but up. And how do I do that? See what I'm saying? So it is the great potential you have to start fresh here. Okay, I hope that helps. Angela Amos, ooh, holla, Sag rising over here as well. Awesome. Mary says, thank you, love. That's such a beautiful interpretation of Jupiter and Pisces. Oh, thank you, thank you. That means a lot coming from the Mermaid Trove over there, my astrology goddess. Thank you, Karen, appreciate that. Oh, Moniel, good. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get into it. So with that said, since we're talking about like direction and all of that and our true north, I was actually guided to work with Colette Baron Reed's The Enchanted Map Oracle deck. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create sacred space really quickly before I go and pull this message. So what that means is, since we are all connecting energetically, we are sharing energy right now. So it is important for us all to just kind of like bring our energy in. Try, if you can, to just detach from the energy around you. Obviously, be mindful still if you've got something on the stove or if you have small children or something else going on. That's my disclaimer to you. Be mindful, please. But at the same time, I'm just going to ask you if you can just to close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And just release the breath in through your mouth. Releasing any tension that you might feel in your body right now. Notice, are you clenching your jaw? Are your shoulders up high? Is your, are you, holding any tension anywhere in your back or in your stomach? Just relax and take another deep breath in and release. Try to drop your mind down into your heart space, coming into your feeling center. Just being present in this moment as we take one last breath in and release. All right. So what guidance comes forward for the collective good for the week of May 10th, 2021? Oh yeah, I'm gonna like this card a lot. Okay, so yes. So ascendant and rising mean the same thing, sweetie. So I know sometimes it gets confusing for people, but I think rising is just kind of like a nickname for ascendant. So you're good. All right. So the number of the card is a 28. So that might have some resonance with all of you. That may not. But numerically speaking, 28 breaks down to be a 10, which would break down also to be a number 1. But I'm going to talk about the 10 first because I have a tarot background. And when I first started reading tarot, numbers, were, that's when I really got first introduced to numerology. And the number 10 is recognized in tarot, whereas in numerology, 10 is not. It would be broken down to a number 1. So the 10 being the ending of a journey. It's like you start out as the fool on the fool's journey at this place of 0. And then you go through your journey and rise and move through everything until you get to 10, which is the arrival. And it's like, job well done at this point. You've completed a chapter in your life, and now it's time for you to move on to the next big beginning or the next big cycle in your life. So just want to recognize and honor the 10 there for a moment, because as it goes with everything else, with Pisces, with the dark moon today, we really are ending lots of old patterns and old cycles for the birthing of the new, to peel and strip back all of those layers to come into our soul's true divinity, right? So with that said, the number 1 is the number of rebirth. It is new beginnings. It's forward movement. So this is where we can see the blocks and obstacles and doors just being thrown open, and we are finally able to move forward. Where there was resistance and blockage, there is no more. We are able to move forward now. The door is opening for the next part of our journey. It is also the number of positive change. It is also the number of the, kind of coming into that individual space, that individual self, if you will. All right. So the card itself is movement. You just can't make this stuff up. I love the imagery in this deck. It's probably one of my favorite decks to use for like general readings for people, because there's just so much insight into just the imagery. So movement. So we can expect to see things moving forward. Very first thing that I heard and felt when I looked at this card was like, life is restored, if that makes sense to you. To me, it really felt like where we have been restricted, we can now experience liberation. We can now see where we were. I'm gonna bring this into a different perspective where it's like where we have had ideas put on hold, things we wanted to do, we just, haven't had the time for, things we wanted to create. Look at the world and circumstances where we've been restricted from being able to do a lot of things. We can see now that we weren't ready before. There was blockage for a really good reason. And whatever that might have been, maybe our soul needed to go through some life lessons. We needed to go through some stillness for recalibration, to integrate new things, to expand, to go through them dark nights of the soul. Whatever it might have been, these were all essential blockage. It was part of a process, and now we are ready. So in this regard, you can celebrate and congratulate yourself for a job well done, because you now have done exactly what it is that you needed to do to be able to finally move forward on your journey, to move beyond those limitations and restrictions. So we can look at this as we are now ready to take our dreams, to take our ideas and make them happen, to start planting the seeds. Now, I also feel like this is going to see a lot of things beginning to open up regarding where we've been restricted due to COVID. And I'm not one to really talk about prophecies and do things like that because, I have a very different view on fortune telling. Being that, nothing is set in stone. There's too much free will in order for us to have anything as a definitive. Everything is subject to free will and change. But I've been saying this for a while. May really felt like it was going to be a profound turning point. Now, if we just look at the cosmos, you can see what they're doing for us. They are really helping shift things beyond our level of comfort, pushing us out of stagnation. Now, all of these things happened because we could not stay the same. We needed to go through these periods in order for us to be able to see things from a higher perspective. Also, Jupiter and Pisces there. Now we've got the season of the eclipses about to roll on in. And so when that happens, eclipses represent profound change and life changes. So in a really big way. So it's like you cannot stay the same. So now we might move forward, but of course nothing will be normal. We can't go back. We're only going forward on this journey. But this is teaching us how to be able to move forward in a way that is much more harmonious, that is much more in flow with oneness, coming more into a place of peace, but also of liberation, to begin also to see beyond illusion, to see beyond fear as well. So things opening up and beginning to ascend or move forward for all of us, for our highest good. Now, this could result, because I love this card, and you've got, at one point, this ostrich was one with the land, right? But it no longer resonated with this land and where it was. So it stood itself up and it took everything that was with it. It's taking it into another direction. So literally relocation can be a thing for some of us, okay? Travel could be opening up. Oh my goodness, I'm going to knock on wood right now. Travel might actually be opening up. And this could be actually, again, not just solely in the physical. This could be the sort of travel that is ascension travel, that is a spiritual growth, that is you opening up and being able to move into a new endeavor, learning something new, or that your soul has learned what it needed to for this particular cycle, and you are ready to now open up and learn something else. This could be, oh, wow. Rosemaria says her daughter is relocating as well as friends. So this could also be people getting ready to, go to like different schools, schools beginning to open up again. This could be, again, to me, there's like an invention energy going on with this balloon. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I associate hot air balloons with like steampunk. So it gives me this whole like invention type of energy. So this is also, to me, ideas taking off. And this is literally taking you from one place to the next level. Like you are moving to the next level. So this is really a momentous time for all of us to begin anew. I don't want to say begin again, because it is not the same. This is beginning anew. Now, also with the red hot air balloon, there is a bit of orange. Oh, it's actually like a rainbow color, but all I see is red. To me, again, that's our physical connection. That's our root chakra, the physical connection to our current location. So where kind of like where you anchor your roots. This could be liberating you from some sort of familial upbringing, because there's definitely like a liberation, a liftoff happening. So definitely like transitioning beyond what is known. And kind of maybe this might be for some of you taking off on your own. You might be stepping away from partnerships. You might be stepping away from marriages. You might be stepping away from relationships, businesses, careers, things that were no longer serving you. This is like you get your, the answer to your prayers. It's happening. You are moving beyond the known and stepping into the unknown, which could be scary, but oh, so exciting, right? So I have like this whole feeling of the Fool card in tarot, which is about beginning on a new journey. And, and I actually said this today. It's like the Fool does not... It's like full-hearted and young with the sense of like caution to the wind, kind of living, which is very Sagittarius, by the way, kind of being very free-spirited and adventurous, where you're not asking for guarantees. You, at this point in time, you don't even care about the guarantees. You are just so excited to get something off the ground that you just go onto your journey and excited with the whole of where's this journey going to take me, not worried about, what if it doesn't work? What if I don't succeed? But what if you do? And that is the question that you should be asking yourself this week. So whatever it is that is occurring, know that this is happening to take you to the next level, that this is all part of your shift into a whole new way of life, a whole new paradigm for yourself as an individual, but also for the collective. Okay. So wow, that is big and incredibly exciting. All right, everybody. And we are in the month of May, which is the number 5. So it's all about those changes, expansion, and growth, and definitely lots of travel. But again, it's not solely physical travel or literal travel. It could also be spiritual travel or soul growth, which definitely makes a lot of sense with Jupiter in Pisces. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move on into the mudra. Just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Karen, liberation is such great news. Yes, it is. It so is. I'm really hoping that means specific travel, because I want to be liberated into a new location this summer. So you heard my manifestations, universe. Make it so. Moniel says, this is exactly what I'm going through. I feel like I'm stuck, thus failing, and it's stopping me from moving forward. My new start. Well, here you go, my dear, the answer to your prayers. So now you know you have everything in you to make your dreams a reality. There's no failures, only moments. Okay? All right. Oh, in July, Rose Maria says. Ooh, July is special. It's a special month. It looks like a light bulb. It does look like a light bulb, doesn't it? I've never seen that before, but yeah, it does. All right, yes. Amen. Jillian, with any luck, I'll be relocating with you. I have travel plans, and I really hope that they happen. That's what I'm talking about. All right, everybody. With that said, I'm moving into the mudra. So I'm working with a deck called Mudras for Awakening the 5 Elements by Alison de Nicola. So for anybody who is unfamiliar with what mudras are, they are a very ancient, powerful, and simple tool that allows us to, one, create a harmonious flow of life force energy through not only into our physical body, but also through our energy centers, which rule over our 4 main bodies, which are the physical body, emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body. So this enables us to breathe life into our chakras. And through breathing life into our chakras, we can remove any blockage, anything that is preventing us from coming into our wholeness and to our truth and into our power. And again, for overall wellness. If you also suffer from physical ailments or issues, this can greatly alleviate those, if not fully, just through releasing any energetic blockage or imprints that might be creating those, acting as the root to the problem in your energy body. So again, the word mudra itself is Sanskrit, and that translates into seal. And it's more of like a wax seal or a button, like an activator that you have is formed within your hands. You have palms, chakras. Your fingers are activators that are connected to the five elements. And so combining the mudras that we form, okay, because there are very many, there are hundreds and hundreds of mudras, and we do a lot of them all the time and don't realize that we do. So through connecting and forming these mudras, using intention and breath work, you are able to channel energy into those energy centers to alleviate the blockage, creating a harmonious flow for overall wellness, even spiritual illumination and expansion in consciousness. So incredibly powerful. So powerful that sometimes they do come with cautions, because if you already suffer from a physical ailment in the area that we are working with or that mudra directly connects into, you're going to be bringing more energy into that space, which can then create a little bit of irritation and aggravation to that center. So with that said, you might just want to err on the side of caution when using it. Okay, I will let you know in advance if there's a caution once I pull the mudra. All right, so how I like to do this is I pull the mudra to go hand in hand with the message that came forward to really help us facilitate the growth that needs to occur. And then we do it together. So I will show you how to do the mudra. We'll do it quickly together. And then I post a picture of it on my page after I'm done here. And you can go ahead and save that to your phone or your computer. And then you can work with it all week long. Sorry, my cat wants to get out, so she's going to make that noise. You have to behave and you have to wait. Okay, here she comes, my little dragon. You want to say hi? Come here. Come here. This is Hazel. She is my black dragon toothless, I call her. You want to say hi? Oh, is your baby girl? Okay. So we're going to I'm just trying to keep her entertained so she doesn't scream and holler at the door because she can't get out. And she wants to. Hi, Heather. Hi, Doreen. All right, so putting her down, we're going to go ahead and see what mudra comes forward. You want to stay here with me? Just don't pull my cord, okay? Here, I'll move this. You lay down. Come here. Right here. Lay down. Good girl. Sorry, everybody. All right. So, here she goes, pulling my cord. Lay down. Right here. Good girl. Okay. So let's see what mudra comes forward for the world as a collective's highest and greatest good for the week of May 10th, 2021. There's probably some sort of a message in there regarding our black dragons. Shadow self today, dark moon. Also cats, which represent independence. Becoming more independent upon yourself and your own abilities. Huh, okay, get it. Okay. Oh, there's 3, so I'm going to close my eyes and just shuffle the 3 of these to see what comes forward. I knew it was this one. Ooh, all right. It is the Brahmara Mudra, which translates to breath. Okay. So this assists with ease, boundaries, and immunity. Look at that. What a perfect one to come forward. It relieves allergies and nasal congestion. My husband has been complaining about this nonstop this week. So it assists immune system, which is oh so important, everybody. You know, there's so much talk about, and I don't like to use my platform to talk too much about like COVID and whatnot, but there's not enough talk about boosting your immunity. So this is fantastic to be able to work with to boost your immunity naturally, as is things like elderberry syrup, superfoods, vitamin D, sunlight. Just saying, so important no matter what is going on in the world. no matter what is going on within yourself, naturally boosting your immune system is a daily practice. It is a part of your life. And it's something that we should focus more on versus fear-mongering. Okay? So just putting that out there. I'll get off my soapbox now. It assists with your immune system. It opens and directs breath to the head and the sinuses. Okay? So perfect for this flower season. So we're going to do this together, everybody. So you're going to bring the tip of the index fingers to touch the base of the thumbs. Okay? Now you're going to touch the tip of the thumb to the top of your middle finger. Okay? Do that again. So your index finger, your pointer finger, comes to the base of your thumb. Your middle finger, okay, comes to the tip of your thumb. All right? Allow the other fingers to extend outward. So it should look more like the picture here, because you're obviously going to flip your palms up. But my one finger, just for some reason, it just does not do what it's told to do. So this is what I get. Right? So then you're going to do this with both hands now. Okay. All right. Flip them up, and you're going to rest them on the back of your, on the top of your thighs, I should say. I'm going to have you close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath in through your nose. We're going to do this 3 times. And release the breath out of your mouth. Bringing your awareness into the palms of your hands. Once again, nice deep breath in. And release. Last one, deep breath in. And release. And you can state, I sense and open to perfect balance and breath. I sense and open to perfect balance and breath. I sense and open to perfect balance and breath. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. All right, so I immediately felt postnasal drip. So definitely starting to open those nasal pathways, helping to clear out a bit there. So I do hope that this assists you. I feel like I also connected with the part of it that said I sense and open to. It's talking about more connecting into our senses and more of our feeling versus that whole needing to be in that mental place, that logic, and what we perceive with our eyes. You know, it's like really asking us to connect in with our other senses this week. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you have a magical rest of your moon day, a wonderful and blessed week with all these amazing experiences and alignments we have going on. And with any hope, I will see you next moon day. Take care. Bye-bye.